Look. Fake smiles, walk miles in an obvious funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, eye late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Myself a cup of coffee, sip of water when it's softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. I needed me some rainy days, so I needed me some rainy days, so for the weary, so we teary eyes realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and reconnect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So when I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The rain be looking like when blessings drop in. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sip of water, rain it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Water rain it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
Get yourself together before it's too late.
All right. Good evening, everybody from Bridgeton, New Jersey. This is Divided We Stand. We have a very special night tonight. Before we begin, I just want to give a quick update about David. Not much to really tell you, ladies and gentlemen. We sent him some, goodies. And, just can't tell you any more than that. So, yeah. Also, Joey is a half century old. At least that's what he says. He might be a century, but Joey Fulcher from Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Good to see you, Joey. Happy birthday. And
Happy birthday, Joey.
All right. So, without any further ado, as I keep saying, I'm getting tired of saying that, I want to introduce my guests, my special guests, as always. In fact, they're almost like co-hosts these days. We have T-Bone out of Florida, not the Panhandle though, but he's out of Florida via Virginia, where is my mother's home state. And we have, yes, my mother was from a place called Chilhowie, Virginia, which is a small little town
up near Saltsville.
It's a very small town. I went there last year just to connect with her childhood, and it was a small town. You know what I mean? And, very touching, but it's nice. It's kind of surrounded by mountains. And speaking of mountains, a mountain of a man here is our Vegematic, a profound YouTuber. At least in my book, and I'm sure in T-Bone's book.
Yes,
wonderful channel. If you haven't checked it out, it's the Vegematic channel. And don't forget T-Bone's channel, too. Veg, thank you. Veg, from the basement in London, Ontario.
London, Ontario. Armpit Studios from the armpit of Canada.
Armpit of Canada. Okay. I don't think the mayor of London would like that too much.
No, probably not. But
well, that's a big town, so I assume he doesn't know you.
No, he probably doesn't know me. It's getting up there now. It's going to be 500,000 in a few years, so it's turning into a mini Toronto.
Okay, so you haven't seen him like at the grocery store at all, have you?
No, I don't have too many fans in Canada. Most of the people that watch the Vegematic show are Americans, a few Brits, but I think one or two Canadians, that's about it. But nobody recognizes me in the grocery store, thankfully.
Well, that's a good attitude. I think the less people notice you, the better. It's like a Charles Bukowski philosophy, and I kind of get that. So, yeah, I'm just looking at...
So you don't have no chances of running across some of the mega fans up there, right, Veg?
What's that? Sorry, I missed that. Something about mega fan?
I said you're not going to run across none of the MAGA crowd there.
Oh no, we have something similar up here that are influenced by them. We have the trucker convoy types and the ones that drive around with the flags and everything. I think they take their cues from the Trumpists, and unfortunately, that crap seems to be going on all over the world.
Yeah, there's no originality there. They just sit back. It's like, well, what are the Americans doing today? Hey, let's put a flag in the back of the old Ford tactic here, and we're going to rule out a few guns to go along with it. God, the mannerisms there. What the hell?
Right. I was thinking.
I see flags on a car or a pickup or something. That guy's an asshole, and everybody thinks that. So it's just nobody wants to be around them.
Well, let's hope that fascism isn't moving from the southern part of the United States towards Canada. I mean, I can't ever see that happening in Canada.
Hopefully not. I can't see it either. I think we probably have a bit more highly educated people, so it's not like the Trumpists down south. I think he's finished anyway. I'm hoping we've seen the last of that monster. Doing a rally tonight, and he's on the same thing about all the radical, corrupt left. I mean, how do these guys paint Biden as a communist or a socialist? It's ridiculous. These people, and they go on all the time, all the radical left socialists, and I'm thinking, man, you have no idea what a radical left socialist is. There's one right there, T-Bone.
Right.
Whoa! Down there in Florida.
Well, we certainly would be identified as being socialist just by the fact that we're not in the Republican Party, because that seems to be the modus operandi right now in the Republican Party. Just label, and that's it. And then have a fit when you're labeled.
Yep.
I mean, that seems to be what they're doing.
I've gotten worse labels than that. I mean, beyond being called a socialist. But we're going to keep it friendly tonight. I'm not going to say everything that I was brought up and told what I was. So, I'm going to leave it at that. I don't know where I was going with that one.
Right. Well, this is kind of I think will be a theme for tonight, because I think you all know that. I'm having a freeze there. That's okay. We'll switch. Oh no, this is what's happening, folks. This is a beta version, so there's going to be times when things kind of get wonky. So you'll see me. It'll be the only time you see me praying there. It looks like.
I was going to say, for atheists, you're not pulling it off with that shot.
Yeah. Well, let me just go back to me for a second. Maybe this will work this way. Oh no, this is frightening. All right, let's make me smaller.
Is it happy frightening?
I mean, somebody. You know what? You guys are working, but I'm not. But that's fine. That's actually fine. But it's what I wanted to say is, we know. I mean, I know that you're living in Canada, but you've obviously heard about Biden's speech, which in a certain way was epic, in the sense that he hasn't really pulled out the guns, and he seemed to do it. He seemed to just tell the truth that these MAGA people are basically fascists. He finally did it, and he came out swinging. And of course, they didn't like that, and which is ironic because of the way that they speak. What say you?
They're such whining babies when it comes to telling the truth about them. You can call Democrats communists, and you can call them fascists, and they turn everything around. They just do everything backwards. They know they're fascists, so they accuse the Democrats of being fascists. They know that. They just turn everything around, and they use language, and then these idiots just. I don't know, but what about your media? What CNN now is turning into Fox News? What's going on with that?
CNN, God damn, how horrible is that now? CNN is taking the role of Fox now. Yeah.
What happened with that? I myself, I heard about that all of a sudden.
I watched it a little bit, and I was appalled. I even just had to turn off from it. And I was like, you got to be kidding. They want to have, let's say, their foot in the water. They want to be in the game. Really? This is what you got to do to be in the game? I would choose another game. I don't even want to watch it, to tell you the truth. I'll be quite honest about it.
All right, this is what I'm doing to try to circle. I'm actually, while I'm talking with you, I'm kind of multitasking, folks. But what I'm basically doing is I'm switching to a 4K camera, which I don't like using, but it's working. So that's what I'm going to do. So if you see me monkeying around trying to get the brightness down and all that, then
you're kind of at the bottom of the circle here.
Yeah, well, that's fine. I just want to get the brightness down, so that should take care of it.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking you definitely need to get out in the sun more.
Well, I go in the sun, I'll have problems with my skin, that's for sure. But I'll get this working.
You look like Veg's shirt. I mean, you're bright and white. That's for damn sure.
Let me just do this. I'm sorry, folks. I'll get this right. I think it's
perfect.
Just a little bit lower, maybe maybe higher. Yes. All right. So I think that's about as well as I'm going to do.
So man, beautiful.
Well, that is a 4K. Now the problem is that it's kind of like you look at a DSLR camera. A good lens will blur in the back and be really defined in the front. This thing, the problem with a 4K with the USB is that it's all tight all the way through.
I think it looks marvelous. What do you think, Dutch?
Yeah, it looks fine to me.
I mean, the lighting isn't really what I want here, but this is on the fly, so you have to do it. So, but let me just seriously, let me see if I can just get the other one right here. God, this is just.
Yeah, the Mickey Mouse setup.
Yeah, that's
first thing when I saw it, I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, well, this is going to be fixed up. It's weird. I never expected to use this tonight, but you know what? You do what you have to do. All right, circle, and the camera's already set up. And
looks good.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work. I'm going to get this out of the way here. All right. So what I was talking about, or trying to discuss, was a few days ago, we had that epic speech. Epic in the sense that, he finally came out swinging, and then you have this visceral reaction from the Trumpers. So my question to you is, first of all, what did you think about that? And that's for both of you. And the other thing is, should he be doing more of this? Why or why not? Will it stoke anything or not? What do you think he should be doing?
I think he should be doing it because he's going to get accused of all this stuff, whether he does it or not. And you might as well come out swinging because they're going to swing at you first. And I think it's going to work. I think that really, I heard the latest polls that even for Congress now that the Democrats are ahead. So I think Biden's speech worked. I think a lot of it was kind of more typical. I I didn't find it particularly shocking or offensive. He still kind of had kid gloves on when he's talking about the Republicans and saying, well, you know,
Well, can I stop you right there for a second? Because I want to actually show a 5-10 second piece addressing
Yeah.
exactly what you said. And then so hold your thought, but I think it's important because I have it exactly that addresses what you were I think what you were saying here. So let me go to the web, and hopefully you can see Biden. We'll talk about the other things behind it later. But just, again, what you had said, Veg, and I want to make sure that my volume is correct for all of this. This thing is just really wonky when I'm trying to make sure the volume is correct. Yeah, it's good. It's just I'm looking for the sound. Here we go. I got to keep everything. Okay, this one will have a little bit of echo with us, but here we go. This is Biden. I'm going to turn off the sound effects, and here is what we're addressing vis-a-vis what Veg was saying.
And the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Now, I want to be very clear up front. Not every Republican, not even the majority of Republicans, are MAGA Republicans. Not every Republican embraces their extreme ideology. I know, because I've been able to work with these mainstream Republicans. But there's no question that the Republican Party today is dominated, driven, and intimidated by Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans.
Okay, let's go back to where we were. My God, this thing is really killing me. I find the scenes here. Now they have all these different parts of the program, and when I switch scenes, I lose things. So I don't want to lose anything. Okay, Veg, as you were saying, it seemed reasonable. We just saw that where he said, "I'm not talking about all Republicans. I'm talking about MAGA Republicans." Okay, so now I'm going to let you continue with what you were saying with that.
Well, I just didn't see it as being particularly explosive or anything. I mean, Biden couldn't get angry if he tried. I mean, that is about the pinnacle of his anger. I think he should have gone harder against them, but that's just me. I think that you've got to tell the truth, and you're battling so much misinformation, so much disinformation, and he's got to stand up to them because it's bullshit. I mean, they're just constantly using these same bullshit talking points, and it goes on and on and on. The radical leftist Democrats, and these people don't have any clue what a radical leftist really is. How can they? I don't understand.
Or do they know? Or are they actually just feigning that they? I mean, maybe they do know it all, but they're just purposely doing this as some type of manipulation technique. I mean, I don't know. I mean, can they be that stupid?
I think that the average, how stupid do you have to be to vote for Trump?
Right. Well,
you have to be to believe his lies, and these people, they believe everything that comes out of his mouth. And it doesn't matter how many times he's caught up in lying. He's crimes. I mean, espionage now, and they don't care. It's just they're in the cult, and the dear leader can do no wrong. And I'm worried that he looks like he's going to be indicted, and what's going to happen in the streets down there after that is anybody's guess. Because
let's just say, Vince, that if they do that down here in the streets, it's going to get a little warmer in Florida. But here's the thing of it is and all. Will DeSantis have to pull out his private little army on them? That's yet to be seen. I hope not. I do not want to see blood spill whatsoever in this nation.
Isn't Florida ground zero in essence? Because that is like almost a country within a country. At least he's even stated that. If there's going to be any problem, it starts in Florida or Texas. But I think Florida.
Well, I have to admit, and this is just off the cuff here, that I would say Texas. Texas is real strong in that. Florida, we're sort of like second, but Ron DeSantis and Abbott is just like in a competition of stupidity and folly. Now, who's going to win that? No one's going to win out of this. But I would say, I hate to use the term radical Republicans because it's not doing no justice to them either. But the approach they're taking on things is what's really unnerving here. I mean, just the ranting of the rage and the violence is just unnecessary. But they look at Trump as some golden messiah here. For fuck's sake, why? I mean, this man has obviously, with all the paperwork, the documents that are top secret that he proclaimed was planted. I laughed at this and all that he declassified. How did you declassify something that was planted? Blew my mind. But coming to the cusp of stupidity, yeah, we're right smack in the middle of it. Now, I'm going to remind people, I reside here in Florida. I damn well don't live here. This is absurd, but if I may, kind of off the topic a little bit. Sure. One thing I kind of found with Biden, or shall I say, Dark Brandon, the least favorite colors of Sherwood Williams there. I remember one part of his speech where he put out the MAGA Republicans have their choice. They embraced anger. I agree. They also embrace rage, but they thrive on chaos. Now, this is kind of compelling to me and everything for my next video and all, which I hope people are there. It's going to be a long, boring one, but they live not in this light of truth, but in the shadow of lies. Well said, my man. Well said. But together, they choose this different path. They choose a path, a better path, a forward to the future, a future of possibility, a future to build dreams and hope. I'm like, okay, this is something we all should have been on, But here's some of the points I wanted to make, though. But really, it's four of them. Number one, it's this rise of form of politics on violence and intimidation and hate and scapegoating and big lies and rage. I would call it a virulent rage here at the values of our democracy. I mean, this is not normal. It's far from normal, and not any democracy. And two, it's just the instrumental to democracy. I mean, this is how really, if you look at it, how modern society is just pretty much just plunge backwards, okay, and really just into this chaos. And three, fighting these forms, I would say, of politics, man. I mean, just rejecting that. It's not just a partisan issue of just left and right here. No, I mean, it's about coming together for democracy itself. I mean, I think any of us agree. And four, just every sane and thoughtful person, not just choice, but should choose responsibility of this. I mean, but we have to ask ourselves, to whom? Well, hey, how about to history? How about to the futurability of our nation here? I mean, everything should be really, I think, personally, should be built on, anything that's beautiful, elegant, powerful, and even truth. Hey, try truth. Bring that down here to Florida. We could damn well use it. And that's enough for that rant there, but you get the truth of it.
Well, I think when you talk about truth, it seems like now you can, with the media it going on, Fox News and now CNN and everything, you choose your own truth. There is no objective truth according to the news media. I think I read something that more people get their news from YouTube now than from the major networks, and nobody has any faith in them, in the major networks anymore. And I think this is the problem with being politicized and turning it into infotainment. there's nobody left that's doing real journalism and getting in there. And if they are, they're not part of the mainstream, certainly.
Veg, could you
Uh,
equate that? Because I mean, obviously you've dealt with the music industry, how that has changed. I mean, it's kind of the same thing almost, isn't it? Or
yeah,
something similar.
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, for
Because you've
me,
taken the shift from, actually having records being made, and then that's how they made their money with the company. You had whatever type of music, boom. Now it's shifted because you don't have. I mean, only a few record companies left, and then there's no records.
no,
You're left to your
no,
own devices.
and there's no radio, so to speak, the way
Right.
it used to be. So you choose whatever you like, I guess. And I think personally, a lot of the music now is just it's machine made. It's the people aren't even playing instruments anymore, and nobody can tell the difference. This pop stuff that I hear is just grating to me, and I'm thinking, well, anybody can do that. They have they
Logic
can't.
or whatever they could play. GarageBand.
Yeah, you can do anything, and it doesn't take any skill anymore. So maybe I liken it to what happened to art when photography came along. It's very similar. Artwork was pretty much based on realism, and then when the camera came in, then it got away from that and got into more abstract forms. And I think the same thing in a way has happened with music, because with music now you don't really have to be a musician. You don't have to learn how to play anymore. Um, you just have to look good on video, I guess, and dance, and it's nothing like it was, even 20 years ago. Um, and I don't know whether that's the same thing that's going on with politics, in that you choose your own truth. You can't. There's no authoritative voice out there that you can believe. I'm lucky. I tend to follow Canadian news a lot, and I think I pretty much trust the CBC. They're pretty accurate. They don't put political spins on things, which is, I think, the biggest problem with the news media in the States is everything's a political spin on it, and it's all editorial. It's no solid news. This is what's happening in the world. This is what's going on. It's always from skewed in one way or another, either left
And even
or right.
music behind something, it's a problem because it does affect the emotion of the
Sure.
listener, right?
Yeah.
Now, somebody mentioned in the chat, I believe, I saw it very quickly because these things are flying by, and I hadn't intended on talking about this, but now that we're here, CNN, now they changed ownership, I believe, and
Yes.
already one of their reporters who's liberal, and he had a warning, not so much about CNN, but about Trump, as a reporter. But I was just wondering, first of all, I don't want to see that happen because I do like watching CNN and the various, video journalists on CNN. However, I'm just wondering if they were looking at MSNBC and saying, okay, it looks like they've got, they have a market, they have an audience that kind of gets shared with us. Now, if you're a liberal like me, you might switch back and forth. You might watch Lawrence O'Donnell and then you go to Don Lemon or to whomever. But I was just wondering, are they doing this just to try to find a better target market than what they have right now because they don't want to share it with them? I don't know. I'm just thinking in terms of demographics. Or is just somebody taking over and say, okay, I'm going to slowly just start eating, or, erode the liberalism on CNN and make it conservative.
One of the trending hashtags on Twitter today was boycott CNN, because people are just fed up with it, and it's really, if you see some of the clips, it's unbelievable. You'd think you were watching Newsmax or something, and I think they might be making a huge mistake, because the right wing has all kinds of stuff now. They've got, Fox. They've got this One American News,
Oh my
Newsmax,
God, that's
all
OAN,
this
right?
crap. And so CNN wants a chunk of that. Well, right wingers generally hate CNN anyway, so they're I don't know. I'm hoping it isn't a permanent thing, but it seems to be heading in that direction. From what I've seen, I couldn't believe it. I never seen CNN act like that before. It just
Yeah,
the
it's
whole
been in
mess.
its early stages. That's for damn sure. I mean, I really don't see a future for CNN, but I think all of us should take note and really pay attention the route they are taking of these changes and all. And then they're talking about radicalization. What the hell, CNN? Why do you have to take and follow their terms, those steps? Because they need to get into the game. Look at what was that? One American News. Look what happened to them. They took it too far. CNN, yeah, I agree with Veg. They're starting to come off.
Yet they
like
do have some wonderful people. I mean, I've been watching some of them, and I'm not just talking about Don Lemon. In fact, Don Lemon is kind of down on the list as far as the people I like. But
his days are.
I think he's an honest broadcaster. He's better than having Cuomo who blew it.
Well, yeah, but pay close attention to Lemon, though. When you start hearing his rhetoric start to change up, that's going to lay a whole platform there. Just watch him carefully.
I don't think he will. I think some of them have integrity. I mean, there's some people who will not. This is why I departed when I was with the Reality Report, years ago. People would just put MSNBC all in one category and say it's all bad, it's all for the money, that's all they care about. But I always said, it really depends, who is the journalist we're talking about? Certain people just have more pride for themselves. I mean, in themselves. And I say someone like Lawrence O'Donnell. I mean, you're not going to make him do something that he's not going to want to do, or he will leave.
That's
and they're not going to hire a Lou Dobbs. That's the thing.
Oh, hell no. Nobody wants to. Hell, Lou Dobbs don't want to even hire himself. I mean, come on.
Yeah, well, he's got. I think Dobbs has to do a deposition soon, or if he hasn't done it already. He's a wacko. He was actually somewhat normal when he was with CNN, and then once he got into Fox, that was it.
Yeah, it's kind of a mind meld over there. It's just kind of, anything to deal with sanity, they just rip it right out away from you to be on that platform. I watch it from time to time, and I just feel my soul just leaving me. I just feel anything that's of truth or integrity within just gets ripped out by the shreds. Mm-hmm. I try not to go over there. Now, if I want to be depressed and get off social media for a while, there's a place to go.
Mm-hmm. I noticed we've had some comments here, Veg and T-Bone, about what we were commenting about the music, and I'm certainly not saying, I don't think anyone's here saying that everything's trash. You can take programs and music and do art. You can take cameras and do fantastic art. I'll speak for myself. I mean, I know that can be artistic. I'm just saying that the particular route that music has gone, where it made it very, very difficult for the group, for the musician to make money. Like someone like Frank Zappa, for example, he was the one who was kind of pushing for it to go this way in terms of, well, I'll just sell it on my own. And then I'll have a website and I'll sell, Montana or, whatever the song, I'll sell it that way and I'll market myself.
Raising a crop of dental floss.
Raising it.
Only that man could come up with stuff like that.
Montana soon. Yeah, well, he was going to be a mental toss fly coon, But I don't want to keep going into the song. But as a whole, though, it moved so quickly that it was all lost. Like they couldn't catch up to what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be one thing to say, okay, now we're going to make this shift from this to this. And then all of a sudden, people were just pirating the music. and then now the musician has to go out and play to make the money, and then you start seeing 80-year-olds playing rock tunes, which is not. I don't know. You know what I'm saying there, but I'm just saying I've seen the changes, and I don't think there's anything we can do about that. But as a testament to what Veg was saying, when they're just looking for a certain sound, just like the movies, they're just looking for this techno shit with the explosions. I don't want to, say everything's like that, but that's what sells. Godzilla sells.
Michael Bay doing music,
right?
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
Nothing but explosions.
Because the legitimate actors and actresses now are going to be funneled into that, or either they're not going to do it because they need to be paid. So to find a One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest or whatever movie, you're not going to find that type of movie too easily because Hollywood just can't do it because they're going to go where they make the money. And this is, I think, the danger. Like I wanted to title tonight's program Danger Will Robinson because we'll be talking about the Republicans. But in a certain way, well, I'm serious because in a way it's, maybe I'm wrong. You can disagree with me, folks, but it's almost happening all in the same way. Everything's like fast food. It's like, here's the meme. We're going to throw it out there, and hopefully it'll stick to the wall, and then people will vote for it. And it seems as though that's what's happening to society. And I don't want to say that that's what you're saying, Veg, but I think that's what you're kind of saying. It's become the art isn't the number one thing. It's the sale, and that's never what the sale should come after the fact if it's good. Now it seems to be it's got to be the sale. So chime in, guys.
But there's always been that kind of I don't know. I mean, going back to say somebody like the Monkees or Bobby Sherman, that was kind of the same thing. This pop formula. Teen boy bands, that sort of thing. And there's always been crappy stuff out there. And if you dig a little harder, you can find the good stuff. But even Frank Zappa was not very popular during his lifetime.
You're right. You're right.
I saw the Mothers in, I don't know, sometime in the 70s. And the Montreal Forum was practically empty. There was maybe 2,000 people there. And he was going to come to London at one point, was canceled due to lack of support. That was in 77, I think, when I first got here. But now that he's dead, it's almost like he's become this legend. And apparently he's sold more music after his death than he ever did when he was alive. So I think that's the thing with him. He put out a tremendous amount of art.
Right.
A lot of people didn't get it. They had the Mothers had no commercial potential. I think they had an album called that, No Commercial Potential. Mm-hmm. So he had to go his own way because he wouldn't go along with it, with the current, I don't know, the formulaic thing. And he was a real musician, a real artist. And that's getting, I think, more rare these days. I think in music or even in art, there isn't the creativity doesn't seem to be the first, like you were saying, Brian, doesn't seem to be the first thing that comes to mind. It's, will this be a success? Can I sell this? How much commercial potential does it have? And that's never going to create great art, But I'm not saying that there isn't some great music out there that you haven't discovered. I've heard people in little clubs that just blew me away, and nobody's ever heard of them. And there's a lot of no talent people I'd consider have very little talent are huge stars. So I think it's always been that way.
Now that it reminds me, because T-Bone, I'm just going to go on a little tangent here for a second, but T-Bone mentioned Montana, that song, and I do know about that song. You'll remember, like, there's some weird part where there's a female group of men. They were the Ikettes, actually. They were Ike Turner's Ikettes, and Tina Turner actually sounded, and they weren't credited on that. But that's the part where they sing something like "Plucking the Old Dental Floss," and they have everything up pitched. I think what had happened on that is he hired them, and it took them 3 days to sing their part. And it was so difficult. In fact, Ike Turner had such control over the Ikettes. I think there was something like he would only pay them $25 per session, and he would not let them sing for Zappa unless that was what they were paid. So Tina Turner was so excited.
Ike was a true capitalist through and through.
Well, here's what happened with that, though. You know, it took them 3 days to get the line, and one of the Ikettes, now it might have been Tina, but one of them got it. And I think it was Tina, and she got so excited. Ike was in the next room, in the recording studio. She ran over and let him listen to it. You know what Ike Turner said? What's this shit? It's just kind of funny, like,
money. What the hell is this crap? Do it against the wall.
So, like, you know, you can see Zappa, but Zappa would understand, you know, because he understood American culture. And, like, you know, Ike Turner was not going to be into some strange, you know,
line. Zappa was a perfectionist on music. I mean,
and someone attacked him, by the way. You know, his voice went down a third. When he was in England, some guy got jealous and thought he was looking at his girlfriend. And he tackled him.
Yeah.
Just and fucked him up for a year. And, well, actually longer than that, because it changed his voice. His leg was shortened. Yeah, I mean, I know we've kind of gone off topic
I
here.
think in ways, though, with Zappa, that he just flat out didn't give a shit. Go back and look at his SNL performance. There's one right there for the history books. He flat out didn't give a damn. It's almost like he purposely tried to be bad. He did a damn good
what did
job.
he do? I mean, I don't remember it, but what can you...
Slime from your video. The song was Slime from your video.
Oh, really?
I am the slime from your video oozing along on the living room floor. It's all about television being a mind control apparatus.
Exactly. He didn't want to read from the cue cards. He went off script. And, he pissed Michael Lauren off to the max by going off script. And he even said it on the air. Go back and look at the videos. You'd be amazed at what he did and all. I was like, I applaud the man. I mean, shoot, there you go.
Well, he did that song. I remember Valley Girls. That was pretty cool. I mean, it was just... You need that, I think, at some point. No, why couldn't... I think you need a guy like Zappa to deal with the Republicans. I know it sounds absolutely crazy. And I think...
Brian, I picture you sitting in a room somewhere listening to Donna Summer while denying to everybody else that you don't listen to that crap.
I listen to everything. I have listened to everything from Snoop Dogg to Elvis, from the Sun Sessions to Alan Holdsworth. I mean, from one song to the next, I go from Pavarotti to Lizzo if I have to, you know.
I remember some of my friends sitting back going, I'm like, what is this? I said, this is George Clinton and the Funky Parladelic. I'm like, what the hell is that? What is the Mothership Landing? And I was hooked from there forward. It's like, what else is out there? Jazz and all kinds of percussions. I mean, I really get into this stuff, but for some reason I had to stick with metal.
Well, you know, Zappa, and this is going to go back into topic. Zappa had, I forget the guy's name who did his artwork. You know, remember it started with like the Mothers of Invention when, you know, like around the late 60s. And then he had the one with it was a rat or whatever, or a rodent that would scratch.
Oh, Weasel ripped my flesh.
Yeah, that's it. I forgot that.
Like an electric razor.
But I'm going to show you something, and I mentioned this to both of you in my email prior to the show. But I'm going to let me just get a screen here for us.
This is the artwork you sent earlier?
One of them, yeah. I'm going to show you some of. You know what? I can go to Carrie. Hold on, I can do this.
Happy faces.
Here we go. We're going to go to the web again, but this time we can talk because it won't be necessary for me to cut off any kind of. All right. This should.
Oh, here you go.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me put you guys in here. So you can comment when you want to, and I'm taking this off. And then okay, there we go. Sorry, folks at home, but I want to make it right. And I want to make it right. Okay. So T-Bone in there. And I'm going to get me out of here because that's my frozen camera. And that's my camera from the computer. I don't know why that's doing that. Veg. All right. Blow this up here.
Veg.
There we go. And I'll put in real. All right.
We better be careful with this finger session. People are going to start.
All right. So Jim Carrey, you know, I mean, I find him, you know, somewhat humorous. I mean, he was so popular about 20 years ago, but I love his satire through his you know, his cartooning. And it's just amazing. I can select any one of these. Let me see if I can. This one I love. This is one I sent you guys. So let's look at this here. I don't know if this is showing up well.
Yeah, that's it.
All right. Let me see if I can move it over a little bit. Okay, so
I don't think that's the friendly PB and J on that sandwich.
no, this is, you know, it's definitely a shit sandwich. And the interesting thing is,
My is tasting a little foul here this evening.
this is the kind of thing that if Frank Zappa had wanted to, say, work for the Democrats and by the way, he was registered as a Democrat, even though he had problems with them, he was registered. So I think, and of course now, if he had to make a choice.
He ran for the Senate at one point.
One time, right.
I think it was 84. Yeah.
But I think looking at his album covers, I mean, because this artwork is just so bold, it's so intense, it's so colorful. It just, to me, I just love it. It almost has that Zappa-esque look.
I thought Kerry was going to give this up. If I may quote him, he said a while back, quote, "I had merely begun to experiment with bringing my art to life, though through simple animations. When the NFT world opened up to me, there could never be enough new places to create." Kerry said now in a statement, but also I remember him saying something along the line that he was going to get out of the political artwork.
Mm-hmm.
What happened there? I think the man ought to do it even more.
I have some other ones here. Yeah, I'm going to just throw a few more out here.
On the back of a truck?
Yeah, we'll get to that one. But here, first, I just want to get into this artwork of Carrey. This, of course, is Jeanine Pirro from Fox News. And again, this is the thing that you need to do because I think these people have such big egos that it really does affect them. If you had more of this, I don't think that the traditional route, I mean, you need satire to deal with these people because you have to humiliate them.
Seen on YouTube, okay? That's what needs to come back. Mad Magazine and just do it into a YouTube platform. Hey, Veg, there's an idea. I don't know where we're going to go with this, but there's a
Veg, can you write some satirical music and then we'll get the artwork?
I'm sure I could. There's no shortage of material for it.
Because these people are so stupid that, you know, you could really destroy them.
Yeah. Yeah, and they probably think you were doing them a favor, you know, doing something good for them because they don't understand parody, you know. They don't really have a good sense of humor.
None whatsoever. You ought to try the good, devoted Christians and try to do a little parody with them and all. Oh, they flip out. They take it too daggone serious. I don't know how many times I've been told that I'm going to burn in hell. I'm already in hell. I'm in Florida with you people. Where do you think you're so divine now? Anyway.
Yeah, do you remember when Pat Robertson ran for president?
Right, I remember that.
Back in the 80s, Frank Zappa wrote a song about it called "Jesus Thinks You're a Jerk."
Well, do you think we should put it on?
Sure.
Do you think it's there? Let's go to the net and see if we can find it. You know, because I'm sure our audience are like, now what's it called again? Jesus
Thinks You're a Jerk.
Oh, here we go.
There it is.
Oh, is this up right now? Let me see if I can get this. Jesus Thinks You're a Jerk. All right, let's
go for it.
Yeah, why not? We'll do it live?
Sure.
Why not?
Go for it.
You might get a little echo if we talk, so just know.
Jesus thinks you're a jerk. Would he really choose to do his work? Robertson says that he's the one. Oh, he sure is. If Armageddon is your idea of family fun, and he's got some plan for you. Now tell me that ain't true. Now what did Jimbo slightly a-will plant? Let Jimbo get away. Everything we've heard him say indicates that Jim must pay. And it just might hurt a bit. But keep that money rolling in, 'cause Pat and Naughty Jimbo can't get enough of it. Perhaps it's their idea of an affirmative action plan to give like trash a special break when they took those G's all bucks and ran to the bank, to the bank, to the bank, to the bank. And everybody can hear their bloody for sending down his gun while you lost. Jim and Pat should take a pull right up ye saintly glory hole with tar and feathers too, just like they love to do to you. 'Cause they know you are bad, and they are very mad. Some folks don't want prayer in school. We need an art to survive the drool. Mind Republicans raised on hate. Jimbo Jumbo when they graduate. But yes, they are the chosen ones. And all their parents carry guns. Hold their guns in the NRA. Their fingers on the trigger when they kneel and pray. Ku Klux Moo in the back of the truck. If you ain't born again, they wanna mess you up. Screaming no abortion, no siree. Life's too precious, can't you see? What's that hanging from a neighbor's tree? Why, it looks like colored folks to me. Now, I hope we never see that day when in the land of the free. Or someday will we?
I just got a message stream unavailable. Streams suspended for policy violations. It's like I got copyright.
That's that Facebook thing. We might still be on YouTube. Let me see. Oh, for Christ's sake.
Not on YouTube.
Okay, hold on. Let me start. Thanks for catching. Let me see.
Who got you?
Well, it shouldn't be YouTube because they usually let you do it. Let me start it up again real quick.
If not mistaken, it's still on YouTube.
It is on YouTube?
Yeah.
'Cause let me just double check.
Judge, what are you seeing, Judge?
I see on YouTube stream unavailable. Not on my laptop, but on your main channel here. Yeah.
All right, let me start it again. It'll probably sew it together.
Oh, that sucks, man. God damn it.